What's up, y'all? I'm Deidra, and this is ShadeTree Reads. Black lives still matter. We're going to say this every video, but let's get right into the purpose of this one. We are going to be talking about the PopCulturereadathon, which is hosted by Cupcake and Lauren, the reading parent. I'll put their information down in the description box so that you can check them out and check out the Twitter page. And let's jump right into the prompts because there's a lot of them, and these cards look super dope. So there are 4 cards, and I'll put them on the screen and kind of talk over them so you can pause and read the cards in detail for yourself. But Teen Dream, there's Family Affair, there is Thrill Ride, and then there's the Adult Table. Each one of them have super dope prompts. The cards just look incredible. Like, I've really never even seen bingo cards or readathon cards or just anything like it before in my life, and it's another reason why I'm super hype about this. But along with that, I am an 80s baby and a 90s kid, so each one of these movies or TV shows or whatever on these cards just hold a little special place in my heart in some form or fashion. By the way, I'm sorry if you can hear stuff blowing around in the background. It's windy today. It's like super windy. Anyway, so let's jump right into the 2 cards that I picked. I was going to try to do blackout bingo, but I just know that I'm a mood reader and that would never work. I'm probably not even going to be successful with this since I just got out of a reading slump. I'm kind of in the danger zone right now anyway. But I picked 2 cards and I made my own card. First one we're going to talk about is the Adult Table. We're going to go over my picks. So some of these I only picked 1 book for each prompt, and others I picked multiple books just in case. One, it might have been a graphic novel or a manga that was short and I thought maybe I could squeeze in 2, or I thought maybe I wouldn't be in the mood for one or the other, so I just picked 2 on some of these. Some of them I didn't. We're going to go through the second row from the left on the Adult Table, and the first prompt is The First Wives Club. Read a book from your favorite genre. And my favorite genre is fantasy. I think we all know that. And so I picked The Lightning Thief. I've been wanting to, I think, I'm not 100% certain that I've read these Percy Jackson books. I feel like I have, but it's been so long that I don't remember much about them. I know I watched the movies and wasn't too hype about the movie. So The Lightning Thief is the first thing that I picked on the Adult Table. The next prompt is Death Becomes Her. Read a backlist book. And for that one, I picked The Poppy War. And backlist I am defining as a book that was not published in the current year. And so The Poppy War definitely was not published this year, but the 3rd book in the trilogy will be. And so I want to go ahead and get started on this beast. It's 530 pages, and I'm hearing nothing but good things about this, but I do also hear that it's gonna fuck me up. So I want to go ahead and get started with this at the beginning of the month. This might be the first book that I pick up. The next prompt is Soul Food. Read a book with a dysfunctional family or relationship. So for that, I picked Fruits Baskets. Excuse me. I picked Fruits Basket for that one. I know I talked about this in a recent haul, but I did not read a summary for it in that haul video, so I will do that now so you can kind of understand why I chose this one. If you have never read it, if you have read it and you're wondering why I chose this one, let me know in the comments because I haven't read this yet, but this kind of sounded like it would fit even if I stretched it a little bit. So the synopsis for Fruits Basket is: after a family tragedy turns her life upside down, plucky high school Toro Honda takes matters into her own hands and moves out into a tent. Unfortunately for her, she pitches her new home on a private land belonging to the mysterious Soma clan. and it isn't long before the owners discover her secret. But as Toru quickly finds out when the family offers to take her in, the Somas have a secret of their own. When embraced by the opposite sex, they turn into animals of the Chinese zodiac. So that sounds dysfunctional, even if it's not the main character's family. There is a dysfunctional family in the books. That's why we picked that one. The last one on the adult table bingo card that I want to try to accomplish to get bingo is Never Been Kissed, and that is read a romantic comedy. For that, I picked B-Boy Blues, and let me grab my iPad. Goodreads search is just so fucking terrible. I really do hate it. They don't care to improve their website. And I really need to go ahead and download Book Sloth. I know I added this book to be read, so why isn't it just popping up when I search? I know it's on here. Here it is. Okay, so B-Boy Blues is Hardy's debut novel about the lives of black gay men in New York. Is unabashedly and unapologetically written for the African-American male. Rough, sexy, humorous, and authentic, B-Boy Blues is a first-rate love story. So I think it's going to be funny, at least in parts, and it's not, obviously, as it says in the synopsis, I'm not the target audience, but I think I'll still be able to find some humor in it. And I need to be reading more James Earl Hardy. Anyway, so that's where we're at. Let's get right into the second card that I picked and for the Pop Culture Readathon, and that is Thrill Ride. I just made my own cards because I wanted to put this on the wall and look at it as the month goes along and mark off stuff. So the first prompt on this one, on the row, again, I'm going for the same row on this card. The two hosts said that we could use the same book on different cards, so I might have done that once. I will point it out to you if I did. So the first prompt is Jurassic Park. Book set on an island, coast, or body of water. So for that one, I picked two books for this one. I am thinking of reading The Island of Sea Women, which, can you just appreciate this cover? Look how fucking pretty it is. I can't remember if I've already hauled this. I think it was in my last haul, but it's just so pretty. And obviously it's set on the water. Set on the island of Jeju, the Island of Sea Women follows Mi-ja and Young Suk, two girls from different backgrounds, as they begin working in the sea with their village's all-female diving collective. Over many decades, through the Japanese colonism of the 30s and 40s, 1930s and 1940s, World War II, the Korean War, and the era of cell phones and wetsuits for the women divers, Mi-ja and Young Suk developed the closest of bonds. But after hundreds of dives and years of friendship, forces outside their control will push their relationship to the breaking point. The other books by this author is The Tea Girl of Hummingbird Lane, Snowflower and the Secret Peony in Love, Shanghai Girls, China Dolls, and Dreams of Joy. So they have written a bunch of books by in the past. This is not a debut or anything, but I just think this is so pretty, and I think it might be historical fiction. I feel like I read that somewhere on Goodreads when I was adding it to my to be read list. Moving right along. If you haven't noticed, all these books for this readathon, I'm trying to utilize books that I already own, books on my shelf, books on my Kindle, books from my library even. I'm trying not to spend any money to complete these prompts. And so far, that has been the case. I haven't bought anything for this readathon. Cross my fingers that I like all of these books and I read them and I don't have to replace them with anything. The second book that I picked was All the Stars and Teeth, which I own an ebook of that book, but I'm having a hard time finding it on Goodreads. The synopsis for that one is, this one is by Adeline Grace is set in a kingdom where danger lurks beneath the sea. Mermaids seek vengeance with song, and magic is a choice. She will reign as princess of the island kingdom Visadia. Amora Montera has spent her entire life training to be High Animancer, the master of souls. The rest of the realm can choose their magic, but for Amora, it's never been a choice. To secure her place as heir to the throne, she must prove her mastery of the monarchy's dangerous soul magic. When her demonstration goes awry, Amora is forced to flee. She strikes a deal with Bastian, a mysterious pirate. He'll help her prove she's fit to rule if she'll help him reclaim his stolen magic. But selling the kingdom holds more wonder and more peril than Amora anticipated. A destructive new magic is on the rise, and if Amora is to conquer it, she'll need to face legendary monsters, cross paths with vengeful mermaids, and deal with a stowaway she never expected, or to risk the fate of Visadia and lose the crown forever. I am the right choice, the only choice, and I will protect my kingdom. Okay, well, we shall see about All the Stars and Teeth. Actually, if I had to choose today which of those two books I would choose, I would pick The Island of Sea Women. Because I haven't really been in a YA mood lately, but that one does sound interesting. So we'll see which one I end up picking up. And I might end up picking both. We'll see. The next prompt on Thrill Ride that I decided to go for is Everybody's a Suspect. And that's read a mystery or thriller. For that one, I picked Hollywood Homicide. And let me pull up the synopsis for it. The only thing about readathons sometimes that I don't like is I have to read the synopsis to figure out if the books will fit the prompts. And I really don't like doing that. But I'm not too mad about it this time. It really helped me figure out. It really helped me narrow down some stuff that I already owned that would fit. So anyway, A Hollywood Homicide by Kelly Garrett is summarized by Dana Anderson sets out to solve a murder. All the semi-famous, mega-broke black actress wants is to help her parents keep their house. After witnessing a deadly hit and run, she figures pursuing the 15-grand reward isn't the craziest thing a Hollywood actress has done for some cash. But what starts as simply trying to remember a speeding car soon blossoms into a full-on investigation. There's a gnat in here. She's determined to find the poor woman's killer too. When she connects the accident to a notorious Hollywood crime spree, Dana chases down leads at paparazzi hotspots, celeb homes, and movie premieres. She loves every second until someone tries to kill her, and there's no second takes in real life. That sounds dope, and I own the sequel to it as well, and I really want to read that ASAP, so it's why it's on my list. The next prompt is Light as a Feather, book with a creepy or haunted feel. So I picked two for this one. Both of them are fairly short. One is definitely a novella, and I won't read the synopsis for that one. But I will let you know who the author is and what book I chose. Oh man, I will not be able to pronounce this person's name. But For He Can Creep is a novella, and I do not know what it's about, but the word creep is in the title, so I figured it had to fit. I'm pretty sure I went on a buying spree of horror, sci-fi, fantasy novellas from authors of color, and I think that is why I own this one. So I have read the synopsis at one point, I'm sure, but I don't remember, so we're just going to move on because it's really short. I think it's only it's under 100 pages, I want to say. Yeah, the ebook is only 30 pages, so I don't want to read the synopsis, so let's just move on. The other one that I picked for that one, just because For He Can Creep is only 30 pages, so I should be able to read something else along with it. And I picked The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And this is another ebook that I have. Several people have begged me to read this vicariously through talking about it on the internet in their booktube videos, but I just really want to read this. It's one of those classics that I think I will enjoy, and a lot of friends who have read it think it's the bee's knees and one of those classics that you just have to read. So I am going to do that. I'm not going to read the synopsis of that one either. Instead, I will link a review with a timestamp from Heather from Aphrodite Reads. I know she read that recently, maybe about a month ago, and she loved it. And I can't remember if she did a standalone review, but I know that she did review it. So I'll put a timestamp and a link in the description box. Instead of in the cards, I'll put it in the description box and you guys can go check that out. And the last one for the Pop Cultureathon is The Mummy. Book with the undead, zombies, ghosts, vampires, etc. And for that one, I chose, again, 2 books. I chose Ghosts, which I know I talked about in my last haul. It looks pretty dope, the art, and Ghosts is in the title. Pretty much all you need to know. And then the second one I picked was My Best Friend's Exorcism, and I can't remember, this is Grady Hendrix. I can't remember if I already put this on a TBR or if I just hauled it. I can't remember, but I'm definitely going to get to this one ASAP because it won't take me hardly any time to read Ghost unless I just don't like it. And they have a rule where you can change prompts if you don't like a book, or if you DNF it or whatever, you can change the prompt. So either way, that one's going to get read this month unless I really just hate Grady's writing. So that is it for the Pop Cultureathon. The other readathon that I'm going to be participating in this month is the Fckathon by Noria at Noria Reads. So I'm going, there's one book that's going to be on both of these, and I'm going diagonally in the, on the bingo board for this readathon. I'm going diagonally. So I think the first one is Fuck Ableism. The next one is Fuck Theological Fundamentalism. And the last one is Fuck Ageism. For Fuck Ableism, I am going to be reading Freshwater. And I have this as an ebook, and I also borrowed the audiobook from Scribd. So I want to get to that one sooner rather than later. I heard Tochi Onyebuchi talk about it in their interview with, I think it was Brittany from Melanin Eclectic did an interview with him from on Quarantine Pages, maybe like 2 weeks ago. I can't remember, but I will definitely link that interview in the cards and in the description box because it was excellent. The second prompt for Fckathon that I'm going to be doing, as I already stated, is Fuck Theological Fundamentalism, and I'm going to use the Poppy War for that one because there's an element of shamanism, and as well as Noria used this in her recommendations video as one that we could use for that prompt. So I'm going to do that. And the last one is Fuck Ageism. I do not own a book that will fit for this prompt that I know of. I think she said we could use Cersei. I'm going to go get Cersei. I can use Cersei for this. Hang on. Yeah, so I'm sorry for the slight angle change if there was one, but I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Noria said we could use Cersei for that prompt. I thought I remember that correctly. Let me know down in the comments if I misheard her in her recommendations video, but if I'm right, this is the only one that I own that I can use for this prompt, so we shall see. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that some of these books are also on your TBR for July. I hope you're going to be participating in either of these 2 readathons. They're both dope and they deserve all the attention. Let me know what you're going to be reading, if we have anything in common, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, y'all.